Hey y'all, it's Brody, and today I'm here to do the mid-year book freakout tag. Oh, this lighting is bad. So it's halfway through the year, it's the end of June, and I want to do a little bit of reflection. I was tagged by a couple of people to do the end of year book freakout tag back at the end of 2018, and I ended up not doing it because that's around the time I took my hiatus. So I figured, even if I didn't get tagged to do this, then I could still, count that since they kind of go together. Whatever. Let's just get into it. Question number 1 is, what is the best book you've read so far in 2019? As of today, it's June 25th, while I'm recording this, I've approximately read 40 books. So definitely not all of them have had time to become favorites of mine. But the two that I'm kind of torn between and going back and forth are The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta and Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. The Lost Coast is up here. You should know if you've watched any of my past 4 videos. It's super witchy, it's super dark, it's very much in my wheelhouse of things I like with magical realism and diverse characters, and also it's a beautiful cover. Trail of Lightning is on here because I love seeing native stories, especially the myths and the legends, brought to life. This is basically the complete opposite of this, whereas this is more of a slow fantasy magical realism with stuff sprinkled in. This is more of if Supernatural had a badass native female main character and, took place after the apocalypse. So the two couldn't be more different, and I love them both for completely different reasons, but they're neck and neck. It's razor thin, the difference between these two. The next question is the best sequel that you've read in 2019, and I haven't read that many sequels at all because I'm a really bad person who doesn't like to keep going with series once I start them, but yeah. The best one I've read this year is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. This book it just hit me like a truck, and it was a welcome hit. I did do a reading thread of reading this on Twitter, so I'll link that down below, but warning, it does have spoilers for Crooked Kingdom, obviously, so if you haven't read the series, or, you just don't care about being spoiled, you can go check that out for my full thoughts. Also, I've talked about it a little bit in my spring wrap-up, so you can go check that out as well. I'll link that down below as well. Question number 3 is a new release you haven't read but really want to. There are a lot. I want to read Birthday by Meredith Russo. I want to read Tell Me How You Really Feel. There's one, I think it's called The Wise and the Wicked, I want to read. But as of right now, there are 3 2019 releases on my physical TBR shelf, and the one I'm most excited for right now is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. As I said, today is the 25th, which means it is release day for this book. And I'm so fucking excited. It's kind of an urban, paranormal, fantasy, young adult K-drama. And I'm super here for it. The cover is just everything that I need out of a cover. Also, can we talk about the fact that we are getting some beautiful illustrated covers this year? I'm starting to not mind people on the cover, as long as they're illustrated, because it's working for me. Yeah, as I said, there are a couple more that I do intend to get to that have already come out, like Death Prefer Blondes and With the Fire on High. I've started both of those and haven't continued for one reason or another. And like I said, there are a couple who came out last month, and the simple fact is that the releases in May have just slapped way too hard for my paycheck. And the next question is, what's your most anticipated release for the rest of 2019? And for that, I'm doing 3 answers. I'm doing Slay by Brittany Morris, The Babysitter's Coven by Kate M. Williams, 3 Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I'm mainly judging the books based off their covers. That's just something I do. That's something we all believe. All of these are debut novels. I know that Wilder Girls is a debut novel. I believe Slay is as well. I'm not sure about The Babysitter's Coven. Please make sure you go support them. They all seem like lovely people. And yeah, I'm excited for these books. The next question is your biggest disappointment of 2019. And if you watched my spring wrap-up, you will know that it is Laura Dean who's breaking up with me. This is a very beautiful graphic novel that I was very much anticipating for this year. The art is really pretty, as you can see from the cover. The cover is gorgeous. The art's pretty. Spoilers, I'm sorry. Okay. The art's really pretty. The color scheme is gorgeous, and this is physically probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing books I have ever seen. But hot damn, this was hot garbage. This book just really made me mad, and it's only sticking around for this video, and then it's getting thrown in my unhaul pile. The problems I had with this book, like why I was disappointing, I think it's because I was hyping it up so much in my own head, and I saw other people hyping it up, and it just didn't meet the expectations, which is totally different. It's like a different kind of disappointment, whereas like you read something that you don't know anything about and it's just bad, or you read something knowing it's going to be bad, like I did with a bunch of free Kindle Unlimited male erotica. I know it's going to be bad, so I read it expecting to be bad, and I'm not disappointed. That's not a disappointment, it's just a bad read. With this one, I was very upset. And like I said, check out my spring wrap-up if you want to hear more thoughts. The next question is, what was your most surprise? What was your most surprise? The next question is, what was your biggest surprise of 2019? And for that, I'm going with The Sacrifice Box by Martin Stewart. This is one I kind of picked up on a fluke. I just was like browsing Barnes & Noble, and it was there, and I needed something to read because at the time my physical TBR was down to like 0 books. I was like, hey, I just got paid, I deserve something nice, let's get this. And this was like amazing. This was a 5-star read for me. I was going to talk about it in a review before I went on my hiatus, but as you know, that didn't work out. So I will just do like a mini thing here. This book is a combination of Pet Sematary and It, both by Stephen King. They definitely both remind me of that. It follows a group of friends who live on this island off the mainland, and there's like a box in the woods where they go make a sacrifice to it. They promise to be friends forever. Flash forward to their teen years, they're about to graduate high school, and they're not friends anymore. So the things that they put in the box start to come back. Their sacrifices start to turn around on them and attack them. And it's about them rediscovering their friendship and, you know, trying to figure out a way to take down this evil that is starting to haunt the island and bring other things back to life that aren't necessarily sacrifices. There's zombie animals. So, yeah. Pet Sematary meets It. I wasn't expecting to love it. I thought it would just be a good trash read. And this one has a lot of reread potential for me. Next question is your new favorite author. And this can be like new to you or like a debut. And for me, Christine Lynn Herman is both of these things. I read The Devouring Grey, mainly because Rhiannon from Crescent Moon Reads loves The Devouring Grey. And I loved it. I took the quiz that Rhiannon made to like see which family I would be in, and started following Christine on Twitter and like watched the author interviews that, you know, Rhiannon and Christine did, and oh boy, I am potentially in love with this woman. Christine just seems like an author that I vibe with really well. I love her Twitter. I love all of the things that, you know, are going on for Christine, like the different books that she's talking about. Also the fact that she has the ability to break my heart. If you read the epilogue, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, just reading this book and seeing the kind of energy that she brings into this community has definitely made Christine an auto-buy author for me, and I look forward to seeing the other things that she does. Next question, we're getting a little steamy in here, and that is, who is your newest fictional crush? I primarily read young adults, so I don't get crushes on book characters. I just want to protect them with my life or shove them in a blender. And, you know, I have been branching out a little bit. I said at the start of the year that I wanted to read more than just YA, so I've been reading some new adult, some stuff here and there. Not crazy, but just enough to, like, get me out of my strict YA box. So, I actually do have an answer for this question, and that is going to be Alex and Henry from Red, White, and Royal Blue. I talked about this in my spring wrap-up. Most of these things I talked about in this, just go watch my spring wrap-up. Just go watch the spring wrap-up, and you'll be able to hear all my thoughts. But, oh boy, these two boys are steamy and soft at the same time, and I love both of them, and, like, I don't want to be inappropriate. Put me in the middle. The next question is, who are your favorite characters of 2019? I have a lot, because one who gets attached to characters very easily, they're all my children. So, my favorite character from The Devourer in Grey was Harper Carlisle. I took Rhiannon's quiz. I am part of the Carlisle family. I want to protect Harper with my life. But I also feel like Harper doesn't need anyone to protect her because she is a bad bitch. Another one of my favorite characters from this year is Wyland Van Eck from Six of Crows. Wyland Van Eck is my small child, and I will protect him with my life because he is not a bad bitch and can't defend himself. The next character I want to talk about is Javier from Five Midnights. This is amazing and heartbreaking and very sad, and Javi just goes through so much, and I just want to give him a hug and tell him that everything's going to be okay because he was precious. I also want to talk about Monica from the Cheerleaders. This was amazing, and I really liked Monica's character. She reminded me of the prom queen character from One of Us is Lying, if you read that, but like toward the end where she's like a badass investigator. And while Monica does radiate dumb bitch energy sometimes, she's like a tough dumb bitch. Like, she knows that she's a dumb bitch, but she'll like own up to it, you know, and she will like kick your ass while doing it. The next question is a book that made you cry, and there have been several. I'm a big book crier, if you're not aware. I Wish You All the Best made me cry 17 times, but I can't find my physical copy. Pet Sematary, I was reading on my way to work, and it made me cry in a McDonald's bathroom, and Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom, and, like, everything. I'm a huge book crier, but I sobbed, actual, like, painful sobs, at The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Ooh. This book was a lot. It definitely made me cry. Ugly Tears, I cried for basically all the pages, especially whenever that part happens, and I think you know what part I'm talking about if you've read the book, but I'm not going to spoil it. So, the next question is a book that made you happy, and as I said, there have been a lot. It's Trail of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse. I love the fact that it's an indigenous-inspired fantasy. Like, that's something that I've wanted since I was a child, and now we have it, and there's a sequel, and I don't know, I'm just so happy that this exists, and I smile. Oh, see, it's shiny too. It made me smile like an idiot, and I can't recommend this enough. The next question is the most beautiful book that you've bought, or been given, or somehow obtained this year. And for me, that's going to be Circe by Madeline Miller. Did I get this year? Crap, I think I got this for Black Friday. I can't exactly remember when I bought this. It was like towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. But I know I read it in like February, so I'm counting it. It's just, I love this. It's so pretty. It's pretty all the way around. I love the shiny. And then, like, the map, like, the end pages are really pretty, and it's just, like, this whole thing, you know, like, it's just a pretty damn book. Like I said, I can't exactly remember when I purchased it, but I know that this is the prettiest one that I've gotten in a while, so this is what I'm counting. The last question is, what are some books that you have to read by the end of the year? And I really don't like holding myself to that kind of, you know, standard saying, I have to read these books. Maybe I will next year if I do, like, 10 books to read and whatever video. One thing I do want to do is I want to complete my personal reading challenge, which you can find on Twitter at ETB Reads 19. It's a personal reading challenge that I created for myself in order to diversify my reading. There's 52 challenges. I've completed 32, so I have 20 left. One book I will say for sure that I want to complete at some point this year is These Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark Treasury. I've read all of these before in like elementary school, and the movie is coming out soon, and I want to go see the movie. I think it comes out in August? July, August? The movie comes out this summer. I want to see it, but I want to reread all the stories first, so I'm going to be doing that soon-ish. If you're interested in doing a buddy read, let me know. This is a bind-up of all 3 books, so even if you just have like one of the books, we can still buddy read, like the first book. I am so into it. Like, please do. Please let me buddy read these with you. Like, they're really short. If you don't know what this is, they're just super short, scary stories. It's a fun time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, I would like to point out that this marks my first, like, full month back to BookTube. And, that's pretty exciting. I hope you've enjoyed having me back. I know I have definitely enjoyed being back and making content that I'm enjoying. Comment question of the day: I want to know your favorite character in the book that you read in 2019. Also, let me know about, like, books that have come out in the first half of 2019 I might have missed, and, you know, books coming out in the next half, because I try to stay on top of new releases. I'm always talking about them on my Twitter, but, sometimes they slip through. I hope you're having a wonderful whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you next week for another video. Alrighty. Bye.